Every week we like to leave you with a pop culture tip from me, your host. It's called The Outshot. The filmmaker Errol Morris loves nothing more than documenting a singular vision. War criminal, executioner, or just guy who loves turkey hunting and won't shut up about it. Errol Morris will document them, and he has won Oscars for this. Every subject is absolutely unique, absolutely committed to something that some might think was crazy or dangerous or laughable. Morris's camera looks them in the eyes and lets them speak. Now, I'll be honest, I love when Morris talks to Temple Grandin or Donald Rumsfeld, important people. But I really love his commitment to regular folks with irregular passions. And there's nothing that incites irregular passion in regular folks like sports. That's why I love Morris's series. It's not crazy, it's sports. 6 short films that he made a couple years ago for ESPN. One of them is about a streaker. He runs naked onto sports fields. His name is Mark Roberts. He's sort of a craftsman, an artist with one broad brush. He says that he loves to hear people laugh.
65,000 people in the stadium all rose at once and screaming and cheering. The adrenaline and that feeling of euphoria was absolutely unbelievable. I think everybody in the world should streak at least once. You have to experience it to understand what the actual feeling's like. I'm not very well endowed. I haven't got a lovely body. If I was well endowed, beautiful body, I'd be a poser. And I wouldn't have to run, I'd just stand there. But I've got to run fast because my body's a mess.
One of the stories is about the lengths people will go to acquire sports memorabilia. It asks simple questions like, who would pay $8,000 for Ty Cobb's dentures?
When I bought them, my oldest son, Brian, he said, Ma, everybody's talking about you. People could have a car for what you paid for those teeth. They think you're crazy. Of all the items in that auction took almost $22 million, but the dentures got more press than any of, I think there was 1,500 items, so that made me happy. Somebody comes over, they know I'm a collector, what'd you buy now? I'd say, hey, look at these teeth. So you know you'd always have a great conversation piece. That's why I went after them. I just got lucky, but it's changed my life. I was just a nobody.
There's the story of a man whose life was dedicated to being Mr. Met. You know, the guy with the giant baseball head who dances around at Mets games in New York. And to his downfall. Yes, he had a downfall. There's one about an elaborate heist, a guy who risked his life to steal a giant Michael Jordan jersey. And weirdly, maybe the most powerful of all of them is also the most modest. It's called The Subterranean Stadium. It's about a man, a grown man well into middle age, who runs a tabletop football league. You know tabletop football? That game from the 60s where the little magnetic guys wobble on a shaky metal field.
If you're a football fan and you have somebody sit down with you who knows how to play this game, teaches you how to play it correctly, with the right equipment and rules, you'll become addicted. You'll love it. A game with moving parts like this, where there's actually action figures and you can control the action, you're the coach. It makes it almost like moving chess, only a lot more fun.
Moving chess?
You make the wrong move, you're cooked.
In some ways, this guy is the least ambitious of the subjects. He's not rich. He doesn't have to scam his way onto the field at the Super Bowl or free climb through the ceiling of a basketball arena. He just paints the new logo onto football figurines, brings a few friends into his basement on the weekend, keeps stats. But he is inflamed by a sincere and dedicated passion. His friends go along with it because they love him. They buy into the madness.
What keeps us going year after year after year?
John, nothing makes him happier than to see us down there having a good time, arguing with each other,
You gonna play this forever?
That's one of the beauties of this game, is we can be old and decrepit and still play it.
As long as I can get up and go down them cellar stairs. Yeah, I'll be playing till I can't play no more.
And from what you say, you'll be some ethereal spirit above.
Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? But I'll be ready for it.
Because the truth is that sports don't matter. Ask the 25 public radio listeners writing me letters right now. Sports is absurd, like fundamentally absurd. Jerry Seinfeld once said, and I think it's very insightful, that we're basically rooting for laundry. But that passion that sports incites, it does matter, especially when we share it. Acknowledging its absurdity reduces none of its power. Of course, it's ridiculous for this man to spend his nights changing the uniforms on little plastic men with a single-hair paintbrush. Of course, his invented pageantry in a basement in the Midwest is absurd. But his hand is guided by sincere feeling and a desire to share it with the world, or at least connect with a few other people. And this is where Errol Morris's great gift shows itself. He points the camera at that feeling, at that passion, and then he listens when it speaks. That's my outshot.